Computer science at that time was a very new subject, but there was a lot of fascination around it. So even in my time, the top JEE rankers opted for computer science. So each IIT, especially if you look at the 5 old IITs, has their own strengths. Today, most of them prefer going to IIT Bombay. Earlier it was IIT Kanpur. And these things, they change with time. So sometimes every IIT is competing with other IITs. We need to try harder, we need to do better. And then hopefully we will
reclaim that position.
We have been focusing on developing technologies which are of critical nature for the country. And if we execute that well, then surely there will be more appreciation of IIT Kanpur in the outside.
Talking about today's time, I think the world is changing so fast. Everyone is talking about new technologies, AI and everything. What we are doing to cope up with the world.
We recently have established the Badwani School for AI and Intelligent Systems. The LLMs that are available today are very powerful tools to analyze information.
How exams are going to change with that much of information out there? We can have more open book exams.
With respect to students, things have changed quite a bit. These days, giving them home assignments is not as useful because they can use a AI tool to solve the assignment.
Building a startup in IIT was illegal, I think, quite a few years back.
Yes.
So what is the scenario now?
Yeah, so it has changed quite dramatically now. Creating a startup while being a student is not encouraged, but one can do a pre-incubation stage, which is develop an idea, and institute even provides support to students to do that. Things have been changing now. I think academic institutions have also realized that there is an important need for developing technologies.
I think you could be an incredible entrepreneur and you should explore that.
And now I don't have too much of a business sense. While I can't do it myself, I'm not an expert, but I can certainly facilitate.
Sir, sometimes do you miss that research flavor? Like you are more into admin flavor now, but sometimes do you miss that research flavor?
Yeah, I do miss it. I don't get time these days to sit in a place and quietly think about a problem. But that's a trade-off I have chosen, so I can't complain too much.
What do you do when you are not working? Like I have heard you're a very big fan of movies, particularly Amitabh Bachchan.
That I was when I was younger, not
Okay.
I guess not anymore.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Rocket Media. Today I am at IIT Kanpur with Professor Manindra Agrawal. He is one of the renowned computer scientist and mathematician of India and currently serving as director of IIT Kanpur. Swagata sir, glad to sit in front of you again.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so before coming here, last night I was wondering that if you look at the history of IIT Kanpur, in the last, you have been the man who has spent the longest time here at IIT Kanpur. You have done your BTech from IIT Kanpur, then PhD, then from professor to director. I think you have spent more than 40 years at IIT Kanpur. So what does this place means to you?
Well, it's essentially my home now because more than half my life has been spent on campus. It's a place I really like. That's why I'm here.
Okay, but still more than 40 years, sir. And so before coming to IIT Kanpur, when did you discover your interest in mathematics? Because I have heard before college you got interested towards mathematics and your father was also a teacher of mathematics. If you can tell us about that.
Yeah, I was a little bit of a quiet person. And I always liked preciseness.
Okay.
And mathematics was one subject which was very precise, the most precise of. Yeah, there is always certainty of whether something is right or not. So that's what attracted me to mathematics right from my childhood. added.
So, but what did it means to you? Because I met a lot of scientists, and when they share their early stories of curiosity, like they have very tangible things, like okay, in chemistry that color changed, why sky is blue, or if you talk about physics, okay, kiva, how this thing works. But talking about mathematics, it's about equations, symbols, more. So, like how was your relationship with mathematics evolved?
No, it came naturally, I would say.
Okay.
I was not interested in physical phenomenon.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't interest me.
Okay.
My interest was actually in the equation, that the ability to manipulate them to arrive at a certain conclusion is what fascinated me.
Okay, and you entered in IIT Kanpur in 82.
That's right.
So before you entered into IIT Kanpur, I think the computer science was not formally structured. It got structured after you came into IIT Kanpur.
No. It was already the first undergraduate batch
Okay.
was admitted in 1978.
Okay.
And so when I entered, this was the fifth undergraduate batch,
Okay.
which in computer science at IIT Kanpur.
Mm-hmm.
The Department of Computer Science got formed later. I think it was 80 or 81 that Department of Computer Science got created.
So what was the scenario back then in time? Like, CS was very popular or you went into CS. So what was the scenario?
Yes, CS was our computer science at that time was a very new subject, but there was a lot of fascination around it. So even in my time, the top JE rankers opted for computer science.
Mm-hmm.
And when we came here, we saw this very big computer, DEC 10, which was housed in Computer Center.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very fascinating to see that and work on it. So that is something that I guess attracted a lot of students, not just computer science.
एंड सर उसी टाइम पे एक और जो ट्रेंड था कि दोज टॉप रैंकर्स यूज्ड टू गो टू यूएस एंड फॉरेन कंट्रीज बट यू ऑप्टेड टू स्टे इन इंडिया एंड यू आर टोटली होम ग्रोन टैलेंट इफ आई कैन से दैट सो लाइक व्हाई डिडंट यू go outside and why did you just opted for academia?
So academia it was by process of elimination, if I may say so. Like I said right from the beginning, I enjoyed doing mathematics.
Right.
And as computer scientist, the typical work you do after graduation is join an IT company. There were few at that time, not many, and do programming. So I kind of liked programming. It's not that I did not like. And I wrote a very extensive program during my summer internship in third year for a company. But I also realized that this is not something I will enjoy doing day in, day out. Once in a while is okay, but continuously working on programming is not something that I would enjoy. Instead, I would be happier working with the abstract concepts and manipulating them. So that left the choice of pursuing higher studies in theoretical computer science, because theoretical computer science is essentially a part of mathematics.
So you always had that clarity, or did you had any corporate exposure or anything like before choosing academia?
Like I said, I had a 2-month exposure to company during my third year internship.
Intern, okay.
Apart from that, so after that, I developed this clarity in my fourth year that this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And as far as applying abroad, yes, at that time, a lot of my batchmates were applying abroad. But also, in order to do that, they were all reading up, preparing for GRE.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked one of my friends that what all things one needs to do to prepare for GRE. One of the things I learned was that you have to essentially mug up entire English dictionary,
Okay.
including complex words, because in one of the test papers, that is what is important. That they will ask for meaning of some very difficult or unusual words.
Okay.
So I started reading that. Within half an hour, I realized that I'm not going to do that. It's just a waste of my time. So I just abandoned any idea of applying abroad.
Okay, sir, at that point of time, that was a trend. But talking about today's time, like, many people are saying, okay, ki this is the best time to be in India. This is the best time to build in India. So do you see a change in that trend in talking about today's context?
Oh yeah, there is a huge change which has happened over the years. If you see the number of students going for higher studies, that has come down very dramatically. Most of our students today take up a corporate job, and that too mostly within India, because all the big companies of the world are present in India. They have very large groups working in India. So that's where most of our students are going these days. So that trend of my time of a large batch traveling to US has reversed almost completely.
And sir, apart from that, like, if you look at the scientific transformation of the country, I think talking about infrastructure and lot of things, that has also evolved. So from your lens, I want to know, like, you have seen this journey in India's top premier institute. So how IIT Kanpur evolved, how scientific transformation evolved in IIT Kanpur?
Yes, over last 30 odd years, if you see the facilities available on campus in terms of doing research, there has been a very significant upgrade. I won't say we have facilities comparable to best universities in the world, but we have very good facilities. And that certainly has helped young faculty to pursue their research, which was not so easily possible in earlier times. It's also very crucial in that access to scientific literature has become very easy. Okay. Before the advent of internet, it was very hard to access the latest research that is getting published across the world. You have to wait for 6 months up to a year before you get to learn about a result which has been proved somewhere in the US or Europe.
Okay, great. And you started PhD right after college, I think in 86?
Yes.
Okay, I met supervisor of your supervisor, Professor Rajaraman in Bangalore before he passed away. So he also knows you and he has very great regards for you at that point of time. So we talked about you and he said, okay, he's one of the best that we have in India. Okay. And sir, the one of the trend is ki, like, long time back, if you talk about early days of IIT Kanpur, so IIT Kanpur used to be first preference of students coming to IIT Kanpur. If we talk about the top rankers, I think till early 2010s or early 2005, but it got changed. Like, many people said due to location preferences or other reasons. So if we can talk about that.
Yeah, it has changed over the years, the preferences of students coming after 12th and taking admission into IITs. Today, most of them prefer going to IIT Bombay. Earlier, it was IIT Kanpur. And these things, they change with time. So
Okay.
sometimes every IIT is competing with other IITs. Some get to do better than others, so they gain from that. All it tells us is that we need to try harder, we need to do better, and then hopefully we will
Reclaim that position. So are we doing something to reclaim that position?
Well, we are aiming to do something very significant in terms of impact of work happening within the institute on the outside world. So we have been focusing on developing technologies which are of critical nature for the country, which will have impact in the lives of common citizen. And if we execute that well, then surely there will be more appreciation of IIT Kanpur in the outside world.
Right, 100%. So I met a lot of alums working, creating impact in different fields. So the role IIT Kanpur has played in the story of the nation, that is, I think, very significant. So ranking tells one story, okay, that is fine. But if we talk about the ground reality, it could be different. Like, where does IIT Kanpur clearly stand as compared to other IITs, and how we are different and what we have to offer to students and other people?
So each IIT, especially if you look at the 5 old IITs, has their own strengths.
Right.
Our strength is in the academic curriculum. We offer to our students the rigor at the institute in terms of teaching, instruction. Second is openness of the system, which provides flexibility as well as ability for everyone, including students, to express their opinion in various forums and get heard. So these are some of the qualities of the institute which have been there for a long time, and it's important for us to preserve them, because these are key strengths of the institute on which we can build further.
Because I totally agree. And one of the things is the kind of academic flexibility that we have. And as you mentioned, the student forums that we have, like everyone is heard here at campus. I think that is very incredible. And sir, talking about today's time, I think the world is changing so fast. Like, everyone is talking about new technologies, AI and everything. So how we are doing, like, what we are doing to cope up with the world, like, grooming new talent, new students. So what are we doing towards that?
We have been focusing, as I mentioned, on technologies which have large impact in the outside world. And one of the domains for that is certainly AI. We have a group working in AI which is which has developed tools that have found a lot of usages and very impactful usages. For example, there is the grievance management system in the Prime Minister's office is essentially developed by IIT Kanpur.
Oh, nice.
It collects grievances from all over the country in all shapes and sizes, different languages, written, spoken, typed, and talking about different things, and then extracts meaningful action points from them. And that makes it a lot easier for the officials to take corrective steps. And this system is now deployed at most of the universities and most of the ministries in the central government too. This is just one example of the thing that is done. Building on that, we recently have established the Vadhwani School for AI and Intelligent Systems, which will have, of course, an academic program and undergraduate degree in intelligent system. And in addition, its focus is on using AI to develop solutions for national challenges. So that's the kind of work that has been initiated, and we hope to see its fruits within next year or so.
Perfect. So as an engineer, how do you feel about AI? Like, you have seen a lot of things, like, do you use AI in your day-to-day life? Like, if you just look, like, code is automatically generated in today's time. So how do you feel as an engineer?
Yeah, I don't need to code much, so I haven't used the code generation part of AI, but certainly the LLMs that are available today are very powerful tools to analyze information. And they can very quickly collate information available across the internet and give you a good summary of it. Of course, at times there are so-called hallucinations also. Mm-hmm. One has to be careful in using that information, but still, they are extremely good tools which provide us or simplify tasks many times.
Perfect. And sir, how it changed your perspective? Like, if you look at the students, like, you have to prepare them for the job market readiness. Like, you have to groom them with AI. And another thing is, for example, maybe exams. Like, how exams are going to change with that much of information out there. We can have more open book exams. We can just, allow them access to these tools. And so what do you think about that? And another interesting thing is, many people are saying, like, since we are too much heavily dependent on AI, so our mathematical skills are going to be weakened with time.
Yeah, that's a challenge. Certainly, all the points you mentioned need a good solution, which we don't yet fully comprehend. With respect to students, things have changed quite a bit. These days, giving them home assignments is not as useful because they can use a AI tool to solve the assignment, not learning anything by themselves, which was the whole point of giving assignments. Same is true in exam. We have students who, although they are not allowed, but still they try to use internet to find solutions to the question papers. So these are the challenges, and these are, as the tools become powerful, more and more powerful, these challenges will be even more critical. So realizing this, we have been working on a plan to revise our curriculum and also how we teach to students the concepts, perhaps bringing in more hands-on development, using these tools in a constructive and positive way. So that exercise and debate is currently undergoing. There is a committee that's looking at it, including multiple students as part of it. And we hope that by the end of this year, we'll have a good understanding of what we need to do so we can adopt that methodology for future.
Exactly, sir. Everyone is talking about AI, but no one is talking about governance on AI. Like, what are the efforts we can put to make the net contribution positive? So I think that is a very big challenge.
Yeah.
And I hope you solve it. And sir, another thing is like, with that much of access of tools, now creating and building things is so easy. Like, even a young student can build anything, like, just sitting in a room.
Right.
And since, like, IIT Kanpur is a place with a lot of young talent, lot of mindful people from the country. So, like, you also have that responsibility, like, to set them in a good direction. And we are seeing a lot of young entrepreneurs, at one point in time, I think building a startup in IIT was illegal, I think quite a few years back. So
Yes.
what is the scenario now?
Yeah, so it has changed quite dramatically now. We actually encourage students to look at this direction. Of course, creating a startup while being a student is not encouraged, but one can do a pre-incubation stage, which is develop an idea, and institute even provides support to students to do that. And as soon as one graduates, one can do a startup based on those ideas and move forward. So that's something we want a lot of our students to do.
And sir, how our incubation center is doing? Talking about IITs, to function as an institute, we need some source of fundings. We get some government funds, we get funds from alums. I think this one field which evolved is incubation centers. So how are incubation centers doing?
So it's getting better and better with time. We have a very large number of startups right now incubated, more than 200. The combined turnover of startups incubated at IIT Kanpur would be more than 20,000 crores. That's combined valuation, I should
20,000 crore. Okay.
20 combined valuation, yes.
Okay.
So that some of the startups have done very well, and some of them which are coming up now are poised to do extremely well. So it's a very rapidly growing ecosystem. Institute is actively facilitating it, and not just institute, the government is also supporting this in a big way, both the central government and the state government. So we are hoping that over the next few years, this entire ecosystem around incubation will flourish and become a very important component of the institute.
Okay, and talking about the portfolio, we have diverse portfolio of deep tech startups, and if you can talk about that.
Yeah, we have mostly tech startups, not many in the services side. And that is good in some ways and challenging in some other ways, because for tech startups, getting funding is a bigger challenge because they have long gestation period. There is more risk associated with it. So realizing this, the government also has stepped in by creating this RDI fund,
Right.
which is meant precisely to invest in tech startup with a long gestation period. So with this help, we hope to support these tech startups even better. And hopefully even the VCs will realize that if you bet on tech startup, many may not work out, but the ones that do, the payoffs can be really large.
So I think in India still VCs have that hesitation towards investing in deep tech startups, and government is playing its part, acting as a catalyst, like by investing in early stage.
Right.
And government has limited funds. So what is your criteria? How do you look into startups and rest of the things?
Yes, so that remains a challenge. Government, of course, cannot underwrite everything. They can only nucleate or catalyze. And that's the role that we also play. We provide mentorship support, infrastructural support to startups. And through these, and we also provide help them in connecting with VCs so that they can get funding for this purpose. Several of our startups have been able to secure good funding, and we are hopeful that there is a transition that is happening in the outside world also, in the sense that a realization that deep tech is a domain where, as a country, in many of these technologies, we need to have sovereignty. If we don't, then the access we can lose the access at any time without any warning. So with this realization has come the desire to invest more from the government side, and also now more and more from the VC side. So we are hoping to see good results from this in the near future.
So people mostly question that R&D part, they want to see results if something is not, physical product or anything. So I think this is one of the reasons, people are not very great believer of R&D in India. If you want to create some product in a deep tech or a tech startup, you need to put that money and put that efforts. You can maybe creating drones or a lot of things. So you can speak about that part.
See, R&D in India has been not been done in the, I would say, best way possible. I have some may not agree with this, but we have been far too much focused on publishing papers through R&D.
Okay.
Not as much in developing technologies.
So means
as long as I'm talking about the academia, which is the main or one of the big source of R&D work in the country. Of course, there are other research labs too, but if you look at the academia, and this has the reason it is not the best or optimal way is if you look at the US, for example, or even Europe, a lot of technology has come out of academic institutions, which has gone on to be adopted across the world. And the reason is that the best talent is present in the academia. So we haven't done it in that fashion. Only now, of course, things are changing. But if you look at historically, this has not happened as much as it should have. There are many reasons of that, but we don't need to go into that. So that is why, it's one reason why there is a hesitation when we talk about R&D in India, because the sense is that we'll only keep doing R&D and not produce anything. Things have been changing now. I think academic institutions have also realized that there is an important need for developing technologies. Many institutions have been pushing this. And so, again, as this evolves, I expect that this hesitation associated with R&D will go away. Another point of hesitation is industry approaching academic institutions. Same reason. They think that if they give a problem for solving, academic institution will only do R&D and not provide the actual solution which they can deploy. Again, this hesitation is now slowly reducing. We see more and more industry approaching academia, and this should go away over the next few years.
Okay, so you're saying we are mostly focused on publishing papers without any direction. And
direction is there,
okay.
But the very clear direction that you want to publish very high quality papers, make a mark in the international fora. These are very laudable goals, and we should be doing it.
So many people also question that India is producing too many PhDs without any direction or in national interest. Like, can we do something to align people with national interest? Let's say we need people in this domain, we need people in this domain. So can we do that? And
that's also important to do. It's there are strategic areas for the country, and we need enough well-trained researchers, developers in those domains. So it is important to set priorities and work towards them. It is also equally important to do blue sky research. It doesn't matter what direction you take, you just do something not necessarily useful, just think about it and come up with new ideas, new directions, because that kind of research builds the foundation on which one can then construct applied research and which is development of technology. But so a good combination of these two is critical. Just doing blue sky research is not good. Just trying to develop applied research structure, developing technologies without focusing on the fundamental research is also not good, because it won't yield that strong results that one needs.
Okay, so what I understand is, there are two parts. First part is if you are super passionate about any problem or super curious, then go for that research. Or if you just want a job or some kind of thing, then you can put yourself a direction and do particular kind of research for the country, like be it commercializing something or doing an R&D, that kind of stuff.
That's right. And a majority will be of the second kind.
Okay.
Who want to just apply something, develop something useful for an industry and then take that forward.
Okay, great. And so many people are also talking about, we have many good IP sitting on the table and we have to commercialize on that. Like, if you talk about this pipeline, academia, there is a saying that people in India used to work in silos. There are academia, there are people from academia, there are people from the industry, there are entrepreneurs, and then there are government institutions. So how can all these collaborate for the greater goal of, taking nation forward?
So that's again connected with what I have said, right. That once the target or goal becomes to develop critical technologies, then industry, academia, and the government, all three have to work together. Government will provide the necessary funding for the purpose, because whenever you want to develop a new critical technology, significant investment is needed, which the results won't be available within 6 months. It may take time. So the government is the right entity to invest into this. Industry should partner with academia to take the research and, working with the academia, bring it as a product.
Okay.
So that technology becomes deployable. So these three entities, which, as you said, were earlier working more in silos. They need to break those and come together.
Sir, can you share any example, like, where you have seen like this kind of a collaboration? Okay, we gave them this IP, then they made a product out of it, then it went on to production on scale. If you can share an example.
From IIT Kanpur?
Yeah, from IIT Kanpur, any place.
Okay. So, some of the recent technologies that have come out have achieved reasonable success, but there's still way to go. I'll give a couple of examples of this. One is in the drone space. We have a couple of startups led by faculty members on campus who, through the initial funding they got from the government and the institute, they developed those technologies, brought it through their startup, brought to a commercial level. And then today they are supplying those to the defense forces as well as some of them in the civilian side. There is a drone which is developed by one of the startup, which is a logistic drone, which can carry certain payload.
I think it's Endure Air.
Endure Air that is taking up, and that has found good success. Another startup, View Dynamics, they have been developing a kamikaze drone, which is currently under trial at the Indian Army. Another, they have developed a flight simulator, which is to train drone pilots on the simulator so that they can they know how to manipulate that. So that has also in the process of getting purchased in large numbers by the Indian Army. So these are a couple of examples of this. Another example I will take is that there is a security operations center developed by a group in cybersecurity. This is currently deployed in Bhilai Steel Plant to manage their entire computing infrastructure and protect it against attacks. So these are examples where something started as a research, developed into a product, and now getting deployed.
Okay, perfect. And sir, since you mentioned two things, first thing is that many faculties are also participating and are shareholders or on position of directors. So I think this is a new trend that we are seeing in India. And if I remember, in US, there are two alums of IIT Kanpur. They are founders of Skilled AI. So they are faculty at CMU, and they recently raised some $1.4 billion for their robotics startup. And this is happening in India now. So if you can talk about that, like faculty participation in startups.
Yes, happening increasingly in larger numbers. We have almost 50 startups incubated by our faculty.
50 faculties are like involved with the startups.
The startups, yeah.
Okay.
Which they have nucleated based on some idea that they had. It's a decent number, but I would like this number to grow even more. It should be more than 100. We have close to 600 faculty. So about 20% of that having a startup is a good number.
Okay, so I think we talk about the incubation, startups incubated at IIT Kanpur, I think we can have that number. So I think some 500-600 startups have been incubated in IIT Kanpur.
500, which is a little more than 500, yes.
Okay, so we have, I think, more than 500 faculties. Okay, so I sometimes think that you could have been an incredible entrepreneur.
No, I don't have too much of a business sense. Also, I really enjoy working in areas which are very far away from any application. But at the same time, yes, I have a keen interest in ensuring that critical technology for the country is developed by us. And while I can't do it myself, I'm not an expert, but I can certainly facilitate.
So you are being modest. I have seen your journey. Before that, prior to this, you were heading that C3IA project, and before that, you have worked with the defense, and you have created some incredible things. So I think you could be an incredible entrepreneur, and you should explore that.
Well, we'll see that. Right now, it's more, I think I can add more value by facilitating others to do their job very well.
Sir, sometimes do you miss that research flavor? Like you are more into admin flavor now, but sometimes do you miss that research flavor? Like, when lot of mathematical equations are running into mind and you are just keep on solving few things.
Yeah, I do miss it. I don't get time these days to sit in a place and quietly think about a problem. But that's a trade-off I have chosen, so I can't complain too much.
But things are like, going in your mind sometimes. Okay, this is running.
That does happen, especially while traveling or while walking. During my morning walks, I get some time to think about these things.
So I have never seen anyone more focused than you. Like, last time when I interviewed you, I just went to that room and you were solving some problems. So any problems you're working on currently or looking forward to work on?
Well, there is one which I've been thinking about.
Okay.
It's a very challenging one, so I don't know if I'll find a solution, but still, it's a good use of my spare time to think about it. I get a lot of enjoyment through that.
Okay, and you have a lot of patience. It requires that much patience. So are you very patient in terms of that? Okay.
Yes, I am. When I think about a problem, I don't lose my drive to think about it. And the primary reason is because what I enjoy is the process of thinking, looking at the problem from different aspects, trying out different things. Whether it succeeds or not, while it is important, but it is secondary. My primary source of joy is just thinking about it.
Okay, like solving one problem for a larger duration. And the problem with current generation or my generation is we need things very fast. Yeah, like, okay, you want this today, we need this to be done tomorrow. And talking about your generation, like, you see life with, that much of a span. Okay, we have 40, 60 years, so planning things accordingly. So that's how it works.
Well, that's the nature of times. I mean, as the newer generations are coming up, because of them being bombarded by technology and different things from all directions, the attention span has reduced. But we still have many youngsters who like to take a step back and think deeply about some challenging issues.
Okay, and so just curious, have you ever thought one day I'll become director of this institute? When I used to walk around that road, I used to see the director's bungalow, and you have been walked through that road. So have you ever thought, one day I'll become director of this institute?
No, I never wanted to become director of the institute. Frankly, I was very happy doing my job.
So when we were a student here, we used to wonder, this institute is like a small city. You have a lot of things to manage, a lot of people. I think more than 10,000 students and many faculty. So how do you feel from that admin perspective, managing this whole institute, which is kind of a city?
Yeah, it is. It is a mini city that we run. We run the municipality. We run all the services and everything. But we have a good system that has been developed over the years to manage and run it. There is the staff support is excellent, and we have a lot of committed people who take pride in doing a good job of managing, and that really helps.
And sir, how a day in your life looks like? Yeah, when you wake up till the time you go to sleep, how a day in your life looks like?
Well, I get up, I get ready, take take my morning walk, do some bit of exercises, then come to office, and go back from office, of course, short period for lunch, and then late evening I'm home, have dinner, and then relax a bit, go to sleep.
And
That's
what do you do when you are not working? Like I have heard you're a very big fan of movies. And
Yes, I mean, I used to watch a lot of movies, but I don't get time these days, unfortunately. So that's
okay,
something I've been.
but you are a very big fan of movies, and particularly Amitabh Bachchan.
That I was when I was younger, not,
Okay.
I guess, not anymore.
Okay. So talking about like we have seen a lot of things at this campus. Now, what is your vision? Like when you joined as director of IIT Kanpur, like okay, in this direction I want to take my institute, and okay, this is something we want to be after 5 years. So, what is that vision for you?
So that vision is that one part I have already mentioned, that
Right.
we must focus on developing critical technologies. Also, associated with it is the plan to uh, develop the ecosystem around, within IIT Kanpur and around IIT Kanpur to make this happen. Which also means that it's important to work with the state government. And fortunately, the current state government is very focused on development of the state. There is a lot of steps they have taken. Infrastructure has improved tremendously. They are keen to bring in tech companies to the state. And that's where we can also play an important role, being the premium technology institute of the state. So that is also something that I want IIT Kanpur to do, so that, that many times people say, oh, Kanpur as a city is not so good, it doesn't have enough attraction for many jobs for spouses, etc. But if the whole state grows and IIT Kanpur helps it grow, bringing tech companies, more businesses in the state, well, especially on the Kanpur-Lucknow belt, then many of these things will also get solved automatically. So it is in our benefit to make that happen. And that would be my vision, that during my tenure as director, if I can set ourselves on this path.
And so, like I think the at front which we like is, I think, narrative. I think the lot of when people don't know about IIT Kanpur, lot of things. Like if you look at the alumni, the kind of alums that we have from IIT Kanpur, we can talk about your batchmates. They are doing very well. And many people think that IIT Kanpur is a bureaucratic factory, which is not very right. Okay, we have some alums at powerful positions, but other than that, we have a lot of startups, a lot of scientists who are doing good. If we can talk about that.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of alumni who have done exceptionally well in corporate sector. I'll just give some examples. Of course, Narayan Murthy is one name everybody knows.
Right.
Then Rakesh Gangwal, who co-founded Indigo.
Mm-hmm.
He also headed US Air and many other airlines in the US. Then we have, on the younger generation side, we have startup founders, Naveen Tiwari, who has founded 2 unicorns. Then Amit Agrawal, who's
No Broker.
No Broker.
Right.
Then Ixigo founders.
Ixigo, ShareChat, Jiva,
Jiva.
Seeko.
Yeah, you know more than I do. Yeah. Actually, so many startups, very successful startups.
Mm-hmm.
Myntra also, I believe. So they have been founded by our alumni. And in academia, I think IIT Kanpur, in fact, alumni have done exceptionally well. If you look at within India, from Professor Vijay Raghavan, the former principal scientific advisor, Professor Rajaraman, of course, is
Right,
the one
right.
founded computer science education in the country.
Mm-hmm. Professor Ashok Sen,
Ashok Sen,
Rajesh Gopakumar, and
and
I think
I can just go on and on here. I mean, this Professor Trivedi, Sandeep Trivedi,
Okay.
former director of TIFR, Professor Uday Desai, founding director of IIT Hyderabad, Professor Ashok Mishra, another former director of IIT Bombay, was and there's so many others. I mean, just IIT
in
Kanpur,
bureaucracy,
alumni.
people particularly highlight IIT Kanpur. Like, if we look at the current scenario, I think UPC chairman is from IIT Kanpur, RBI governor is from IIT Kanpur, then chief election commissioner is from IIT Kanpur, then there are a lot of secretaries in different layers of the government. So I think they highlight us there more.
Naturally, I mean, they are more in the news because of their position, and that gives out that sense. But it's also, I think, it's a matter of pride for us that we have so many successful administrators also. Yeah.
And sir, one thing which I noticed in many of the alums that I met is they all have that responsibility towards giving back to the nation. Like, I have heard from a lot of people that, like, ki our education was subsidized and government has done a lot for us, and this is the time that we should give back to the country. If we can talk about that and about them giving back to the campus.
Yes, there is certainly a thought that many of our alumni have, and we are very happy and grateful for that because we, as things stand today, our funding needs cannot be met by the grant we get from the government.
Okay.
We cannot increase the fee because fee is kept low to ensure that students from all strata of society can study here. So we have to raise funds from other sources, particularly for creating infrastructure. And for that, we look to our alumni and other potential donors for this. And the alumni are stepping forward. We very recently, the class of 2000, the Millennium Batch, they announced a very substantial donation of 100 crore rupees for creating a new program in the institute. So that's a record. It's actually a record among all academic institutions in the country. It's the single largest donation given by a batch. So these are the things which serve a very important need for the institute, and our alumni have been very important supporters in this.
Perfect. And sir, like, what are the kind of things we are doing to ensure that funding thing? And like, I think a lot of events started happening in the institute too. And in foreign universities, I have seen this thing, like, ki they invite their alumni for particular things, like, for maybe a lecture or particularly centered toward something, like, to groom their, younger generation. And what are we doing at IIT Kanpur like that?
Oh, we are running multiple programs connected with alumni. The Dean of Research and Alumni Office, they run mentorship programs where alumni mentor current set of students. They run this kind of a fireside chat program where alumni are invited and they just chat with the students, tell them about their life stories. So, and this is the numbers are increasing with time. So, and we hope that more and more alumni step forward in interacting with our current students.
Okay, perfect. So I hope, like, everything, like, keeps on track and you go on to do a lot of things that you are doing. And I really had a very great time discussing all these things with you. And thank you so much for giving us your time. And it has been a pleasure to talk to you again. And I hope we shoot more, we meet more.
Thank you.
Any message you want to give to alums, students, or government officials watching our channel?
Well, so that the only, I think I have already explained our plan, what we want to do, and what we will need here is the support from everyone. It's an ambitious plan, and while we will do our best to achieve it, for our alumni, our students, other external entities also join hands in making this happen, we'll be very grateful and it will help us tremendously.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.